were very impressed with your first presentation, and we thought we'd call you back to provide a little more guidance to our company about your thoughts on the ethical aspects of the case. Take about 10 minutes, and please share with us your thinking about the ethics aspects.
Well, thank you for calling us back today. We appreciate your further interest in our ethical arguments. We now need to focus on confronting the issue to keep you on track for your no-waste circular model for 2020 in order to hold you accountable and keep the promises that you've made not only to your customers but also to your shareholders. Zara has been no stranger to controversy. Recently, there was a scandal about unpaid workers in Istanbul. These workers slipped notes into Zara's garments, and these were found by customers. They said, "I made this but was not paid for it." Zara currently has a code of conduct for manufacturers, but this did not stop this particular factory owner from taking off into the night without paying an entire factory. This created a backlash, which is bad for business, especially in this information sharing age. There have also been protests in the past about toxic chemicals being found in Zara's clothing. Zara has been committing to being more transparent after these, and its commitment to go toxic-free was attributed to social media and pressures by consumers. This was back in 2012, when social media was a little less prevalent than it is now. Nowadays, we need to focus on the circular model and your promises to be sustainable. Cotton is still used in all of your stores as the most common fiber, yet it's not a fiber for a brand that emphasizes ethical and environmentally responsible production. Cotton accounts for a quarter of all pesticide use in the U.S. according to the USDA. This can create possible backlash in the future once people realize that this cannot support the sustainable business model that we claim to have. Zara's demographic is the younger generation. A younger generation has increased awareness. Pew Research shows that the younger generation is more socially conscious than the older. You have about 43 million followers across all sorts of platforms of social media right now. Why does this matter? Because the younger generation and Zara's customer base are more active on social media. This is going to create more of an obligation for you to remain ethical and hold true to the standards that you've set for your own self. In Zara's Right to Wear mission statement, it claims our aim is to create beautiful, ethical, quality-produced fabrics that are not only right for our customers, right for the people that work for us, and right for communities and the environment. We need to rebuild the trust that you've lost in recent years by rebranding. And you can do this by moving towards your own goal of sustainability that you're claiming at a higher rate. We can do this by increasing the use of recyclable fibers such as tinsel and refibra and getting rid of cotton altogether. We can utilize the labels that tinsel and refibra already have that ensure that they are ethically produced regarding the environment and workers' rights in order to create more transparency.
Transparency is essential for trust. Trust is gained by having good character, and character is how a company portrays themselves and what they stand for. Zara's character can be portrayed in their mission statement about the right to wear. Your character is essential to be shown through virtues, and all businesses should have 4 virtues: honesty, fairness, trust, and toughness. Zara, not upholding to their character that they're portraying, creates moral outrage amongst their consumers. And moral outrage is anger evoked by a threat to personal justice, fairness, and not doing harm. Zara's character is meant to be about ethical, environmental awareness, and sustainability. A company will protest, or consumers will protest a company that does not uphold the character that they are trying to portray. Zara, you've clearly made some ethical mistakes in your past, but this does not need to be your future. You have created moral outrage among your consumers by not being ethical or environmental as you have said you have been. And this can be seen in your recent protests and your past protests and problems with labor. You can possibly create more moral outrage if you continue on without being ethical and environmentally sustainable. This can be seen an example of this can be seen with the recent H&M scandal. H&M recently had a picture of a young African-American boy with a hoodie that said, "Coolest monkey in the jungle." This created worldwide moral outrage. It sparked protests and influential celebrity ties were broken. Czar, you do not want this to go on social media the same as it did with H&M. This dropped their reputation, it dropped their revenue. You do not want to be mixed up with ethical problems in the future if you want to have no moral outrage amongst your consumers. Your consumers had trust in you to pursue environmental and ethical sustainability. This can be seen in your Right to Wear campaign, as well as your pledge to be completely no longer send waste to landfills by 2020. You are not on track to meet either your Right to Wear campaign or meet your pledge by 2020. And it's okay that you can't meet your pledge in a year and a half, but what you need to do is you need to commit yourselves further to meeting this pledge. You need to commit yourselves further to be more ethical and sustainable, or else this will create moral outrage amongst your consumers because they cannot trust you in what you say. If Megan here, my colleague, when we came to audit you, did not prepare her audit for you, her part, then I would not be able to trust her, and I would not want to work with her on future projects. You do not want your consumers to no longer want to buy your products from you because they can't trust you to say what you are standing for. In order to gain the trust back from your consumers, you need to further commit yourselves, and it is essential to gaining the trust back. And trust is what keeps a consumer loyal. It has been shown that consumers that have trust in a company are more loyal. And if you want your consumers continuing to come back to you, you want them to be loyal to you. One example of how loyalty is very important is through Snapchat, an app that allows users to share photos, videos, message one another, and stay up to date with current news and pop culture. They recently changed their platform to function more lucratively for advertisers, and this created unhappiness amongst their consumers, resulting in Kylie Jenner, a celebrity with 25.2 million Twitter followers, to tweet about how she doesn't use the app anymore because of the new format. Snapchat stocks lost $1.3 billion over one single tweet. If you do not stick to the loyalty of your consumers and choose their interests first, it can create moral outrage and ruin trust. And trust is essential, and especially since loyalty mixed with trust can offset moral outrage. And your consumers' loyalty lies in knowing that you are sustainable, and knowing that you are ethical, and knowing that you care about the environment and are committing yourselves to mitigate any harms that you can. In order to bring this trust back, you need to bring back the loyalty. But talking to you about what your consumers want isn't as important as telling you why the environment matters on its own and why you even want to commit yourselves and why your consumers even want to commit themselves to the environment. We as humans are members of many different communities. Communities have allowed human interactions to flourish, but we usually see the communities as only made up of people. We should expand this. It should include the land, because without the land, we would not prosper. Without the environment, we would not be here today. We need the land and be able to cultivate the land and be able to use the resources to build the cities we have today, to even have this room right here. Communities, they start as the abilities to share resources, create safety and longevity. The environment is not for us as humans to destroy, or else we wouldn't have even come here in the first place. So we need to change our overall practices of consumption and destroying the environment if we want to have a future for humanity, and if we want to continue to be prosperous. We need the environment to thrive and survive. Zara has already stated that you care about the environment, but you need to show it further. You need to commit yourselves. You must show and uphold the environmental standards that you have created. You must gain the trust back from your consumers. You must stay loyal and reciprocate that trust. And you need to protect and preserve the environment. Thank you.
Thank you very much.